All right, well, the first card is the King of Pentacles. Well, this is usually a male, someone who is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And the King of Pentacles, I mean, he's happy. As you can see, he's well fed. He's feeling good about his money and his property and his finances. He's a very generous person. He's oftentimes a business leader or owner or a business he's a leader in his field. Let's put it that way. He's done well, and he is generous. He loves the earth, of course. He's an earth sign, right? So very grounded person. So it feels like to me, Pisces, this is someone that's in your life. Could be an advisor, someone that you can look up to, could be a father, could be someone that you go to when you're feeling blue or you're feeling down. I don't know why I'm getting that, but you know, that happens, someone that you can cry on their shoulder. This could also mean to me that this is someone in the spirit world that you pick up on their essence that's around you. So just, think about that. If any of you all have had someone pass over into the spirit world, if you really relied on them and their suggestions and their advice, then they could be around you. Let's see what the other cards have to say. Well, talking about where you could use some advice. All right, Pisces. So this is a Two of Swords. They call it a Thames in this particular deck. But the Two of Swords is about negotiations, discussions, two different ideas, and two people trying to work together, work it out, working it out. And I will pull clarification cards for these as well. But you might be in a situation where it could be a romantic relationship where you're just seeing two different viewpoints. Let's spend money on our house, and the other person's like, no, we can't do that, we have to save money. Or there's friction in your relationship around other people. Maybe I'm just giving examples, but sometimes there's a third party, or someone feels like there is a third party involved, and there's discussion around that. But it is around negotiating, discussing. So it could also be your work as well. There is a bird in this one, and I always feel like birds are messengers. So stay tuned to, stay grounded, and pay attention to the earth, to the animals, to the birds, because like I said, oftentimes they are messengers. And I was talking a minute ago about spirit guides or people that have passed on. I don't know how many people make comments or email me or tell me in person that there's one bird that continually flies in front of them, and they just know that it's someone that's passed on the other side, and that they're watching them and they're keeping doors open for them. Or it could be a butterfly. But look for any instinctual messages you get. I just have a feeling that you're going to have to work out the details with somebody. Yeah. Because it's two. So it's, two is two people. You're looking for harmony. You're looking for peace. When I see two, when I write it down numerologically for someone, if they have a 2 life path or born on the 2nd or the 11th, but it turns into a 2, then I pay attention to that. 2 is about needing to bring about diplomacy, being diplomatic with another person, trying to be diplomatic with another person. So you may have something of this nature come up for you. I'll pull a clarification card. It's interesting how this King of Pentacles is facing away from this. It's almost like he's saying, he's past that. He's not into that anymore. He doesn't need to do the let's have the discussion. He's done well for himself. So a little bit of I'm feeling like this guy is a backbone for you, or he's giving you backbone for this situation. All of these cards are outdoors where there's like pastures. That's interesting to me. If you take a look, pasture, outdoors, more pasture, hills. Here's the butterfly. I was talking about butterflies a minute ago. So this card is the same as the death card in traditional tarot. So this is transformation, you guys. Whatever you can extract from this particular discussion, situation that you're in, can transform you. And you can let the veils fall. You can feel like there's new opportunities, new avenues that you can travel. You see in this card where there's this woman of death standing by the tree. And of course, death in tarot usually doesn't mean physical dying. It can, depending on what it's surrounded by. You know, if there were this card and the death card for a clarification, then that, you know, that might be. But usually it's transforming beliefs, transforming, letting go of what you don't need any longer, whether it's a person, whether it's a situation, and just finding yourself, actually, you, and walking along a new path. And as you can see in this particular card, excuse me, I was about to drop my selenite pointer. But she's watching them, and they've moved away from the dark, and they're moving into the light. So it's a little bit foggy. You may not know where you're going, Pisces. You may not know exactly where things are going. You may have to let go of a situation, of a person, of work, something that's not working out. But if you do that, there is new for you. And, you know, that's coming up so much in these readings and so much astrologically that I just have to know that what really isn't showing for us is it's almost like knocking on our head, like saying, you there? Are you listening? Can you hear me? Because we're moving into a direction of easier, simpler, being around people that support us and love us. And it can mean transformation for a lot of people. It can mean moving out of that relationship, moving out of that business, letting it go, just letting go and know that more is to come. I do feel like that this may be the conflict that's going to make you need to let go. All right, let's pull some clarification cards and see what is going on with you guys. I love that you have this King of Pentacles. What does he represent? What does he represent? All right, the Star card came up. Well, this is about combining the stars and aligning that with the planet, with Earth. So bridging the spiritual and the material worlds together. Acknowledging your inner spiritual wisdom. The stars are on your side. She's holding the water. The stars and the planets are on your side. She's letting the water drip through her hands and looking at the stars. So she's seeing how things can go in a very spiritual way, cosmic way, but yet she can feel this. She can feel it through her hands, through her body. She's empathically picking up on it. So spiritual blessings are the dove of peace. And you can be the star. So this person, I really do feel like this person can be of help to you. Let me know in the comments below. Let's see what this Two of Swords is about. This next card. Interesting. Interesting. The Ten of Pentacles comes up. And then a couple other cards. But I'm going to talk about this Ten of Pentacles. Let's take a look at this. Usually this card represents generational money that's handed down. People feeling good about their property. Money or property that's been handed down among generations. Inheritance. That could be part of the conflict. Are some of you all resolving wills or inheritance, finances? That may be part of it. Okay, let's see what else comes up. Well, you've also had to be very guarded about what you do in life, or at least you feel like you've been through a little bit of a battle here in protecting what's rightfully yours, your creative ventures, your projects that you put out in the world. He's been through a battle. So pay attention to anything that comes up around your money, your property, what should be yours, what you're having to guard. Maybe this is, if you take this example, this could be an inheritance that comes up, and you're trying to protect what's yours. This usually means your work, but it could mean what you've put into it. Maybe you're the property manager of this particular estate, and you've been running it, and you've been doing all the, excuse me, I just moved the camera, but you've been doing all the work towards it. And there's others that want more than their fair share. And you're like, nope, I've been doing the work. I've been going through the battle. So I'm the one that's going to stand up for who I am and what I've done. And let's see what comes up around the death card. Well, you have a lot of rod cards. I say a lot, but these definite two for clarification. You've been putting in a lot of work, Pisces, towards and have a lot of burdens on your shoulders. I mean, no doubt. This guy is walking. Sorry, I didn't have that under the camera. This guy has this burden on his shoulders. He's walking to an area that's, as you can see, with the castle and the purple mountain in the background and the light. So there is a goal. There's a goal that you have. And I think you're going to need to let some things fall off that aren't serving you any longer, aren't serving your highest purpose. And once you do that, once you acknowledge yourself and what all you've done in your life, and you get to the point of your goal, you're moving towards that. And this will help you to let go and to get to that point. It feels like one by one you're going to let these burdens go. Like along the path, if you look at it, he can let go of one rod, then another rod, then a third rod. And your load will get lighter. So in other words, if you're moving into a new job, the other one, you got fired or you got let go, and now you're not sure where to go. If you're moving forward with faith and intention, you can get to this point. And if you let go of, past sacrifices that you've had to make, I feel like eventually this burden will lift for you. I need to draw one more card for this. Okay, this is for Pisces. Well, this Magician card wants to come out. Okay, so this is creating a new venture for yourself. Not only a new venture, but a new life for yourself. Creating what you need, what you want. There's the wand, the pentacle, the cup, and the sword in this card. He's pointing the wand towards the sky. So he knows that anything that he channels through himself can be made into magic. He can implement his plans from the information he gets. So to me, this card is very important. This whole section in through here is you guys transforming, taking your responsibilities with you, but the 10, of course, is starting to see the light so that you can create the life you want. Okay, and any hiccups along the way, just pay attention to the stars, the sky, your inner intuition. That will help you guys out. All right, Pisces, interesting. You all leave in the comments below any other situations. As you know, this is for Pisces. It's a general reading, sun, moon, or rising. Make sure and watch your rising and moon signs as well. They may have different flavors to them that add richness to the reading. So let me pull a card from Stephen Farmer's Earth Magic deck. And in a very practical basis, in an earthly way, let's see what Pisces can do this month, or how you can be to... Okay, this card was to come out. Communion, eagle. All right. Well, usually an eagle represents luck surrounding a situation. And so you want to commune with your luck. You see here, here's this tribal guy, and he's looking towards this eagle for his vision, for his information. What other information can you gain, Pisces? What else is it that you need to know that will help you move on past this? Because I feel like some of you need to ask yourself some questions, some internal questions. What is it I want? What's in my best interest? How can I be the happiest I can be and still be authentic to myself and not let others sway me? Those types of questions. What are my values? What are my core? What is it I really want? It feels like some deep-rooted questions for you guys. Communion with your source, communion with your higher self, your power, whoever you call that. But the eagle does represent a prosperity around doing so. All right, so I'm going to add up these cards numerologically and compare them with the major arcana cards 0 through 21, as one of my Pisces friends has suggested. So let's see how this goes. This is King is 1 and 3, and 3 and 13 is 16. So 16, oh wow, 16 in numerology, or excuse me, in the major arcana cards is the Tower card. Wow, okay, my friends, so you're going to, there are going to be some walls that fall down so that you can move to this transformation. There may be sudden changes, sudden abrupt changes in your life that come up. So the best thing when those happen, someone comes into your life and is like, woo, wait a minute, you know, I'm not ready for you, or you lose your job, or some of those things are happening with people. But sometimes they need to do that in order for us to transform into a different lifestyle, a different type of environment, and move on so that we can clear into this meadow and be this butterfly of transformation. And then numerologically, 3 and 3, it adds up to 7, 1, 3, and 13 is 16. Yes, 1 and 6 is 7. And 7 is about our inner thoughts and ideas and how we can best express ourselves. It's a very analytical number. So you want to, again, those questions, asking yourself the questions, no matter what turmoil or wonderful things are going on in your life, you may just want to ask, am I still on the right path? Am I moving where I want to go? And if not, if these cards are pushing you along, then stay grounded. Because like I said, there's meadows in all of these cards, and that got my attention right off the bat.